Right, today I have decided to make reactors. Seems to be a suitable method to make power, and we're not short of it, but we need a use for this, which is only used in reactors, so we might as well take advantage of it, I suppose. So in order to do so, you need to, let's get some, oh, do we actually have any? I'm looking for coal. There was some in the top of that chest, is there no more? Ah, right, coal, right. So to start with, we will need, graphite bar. I'll just take a few with me. Alright, so this is made, well actually I can show you here. No recipe. So you heat up coal. This is pretty damn self-explanatory. For this we used a redstone furnace. So I've got a my friend's been cheating. I've got a chest that pulls in items from the chest into here, and therefore I put in coal, and in the top there it goes. So that's just going to pump out graphite bars, which will end up in here at some point. There they go. Right. So we need graphite bars. All of it uses, and a lot of this is reactor casting. So we need yellowite or uranium, graphite bars, and iron ingots. Pretty simple, makes 4 of them, nothing too complicated. So I've already got loads, so we don't need much more. And then it's a case of making oh, hang on a sec. String. It's a case of making each of the machines required. So the absolute minimum requirement to make one work is a reactor controller, reactor power tap, reactor access port, a reactor control rod, and is it not going to show us that in that list? Well, we need yellowite fuel rod. I can't see it in that list, so I suppose it doesn't need those. Yeah, some of these. So, right, that's the absolute minimum requirement. So just again, it's pretty simple setup. So to start with, let's make a reactor controller. So that's for those, yellowite, diamond, redstone. Alright, should be pretty simple. I've almost forgot it already. Alright, reactor controller. Sweet. Then we need a power tap. Wait. Okay, then we need a access port. So we need chest, piston, so some of that. Oh no, he's enchanted everything he's got. You bastard. Hey, right, so chest. I probably want to make 2 of these, but I'll do 1 for now. We need iron for the piston, don't we? One of those, I should take iron. Alright. Lol. Alright, I'll get there in the end. I have not made one of these in a long time. Wood on the top. piston. So use access port. I'll just do that for now. Casting, access port. So that's why you put yellowite, and it gives out waste. Not much by the looks of it, but it eventually gives out waste. Alright, and then we need a reactor control rod. So, yellowite. Hey, graphite, alright. Yellowite. Oh. Use. Dear Lord, seems to have got a tool with silk touch, and then uses a tool with looting separately. So he picks up tons of that stuff now. Right, so we've now got a control rod, we've got a computer, something, so we've got something to control, see all of the stats that it's currently got, something to pull out the power, something to give in yellowite, something to control the rod, and we need the rod itself. So we want, let's just put in rod, that'll give us some, hey, there we go. Yellowite, iron, and graphite. And this is where the yellowite goes in. So that actually creates the power. So and that's the minimum amount of things you need to make it work are these machines. Unfortunately, there's also a minimum size. So we need to use this reactor casing as the outside of the reactor. So this will probably only take a second, but I'll just show you an example setup. I probably need a pickaxe or something. Let's go with that. Let's roll with that. My overpowered enchanted pick. Alright, so the minimum size it has to be is it has to support yellowranium fuel rod in the center. Therefore, the minimum size it can be is 3 by 3 because it needs one in the center. Oh, so yeah, I've put a hole there so we can reroute the power down from there easier. And these reactors can be infinite in size. The bigger you make it, the more it produces. This is the smallest it can be. So you don't want anything particularly overwhelming when you start. Alright, now these don't have to be anywhere in particular whatsoever. You can put these devices anywhere at all. I think for this though, I'm going to put... Oh no, actually I'm wrong. You need a frame structured like this. The outside has to be casting. So it has to be reactor casting on the outside. So for the purposes of this, I'm going to put the power there, because the power needs to go down there. Ow, why do I keep falling down? I'm going to take some yellowite with me, because we need some fuel. Yellowite is the only fuel you can... the fuel it takes in, not the only. There's something else. Quick. Trying to do this mildly fast. Oh, and I forgot I need to get on top. Right. So this rod needs to have a control rod on top. So that's a must. Every single time you put a rod down, it has to have a control rod on the top of the casting. Okay, so break that. Right. So this will be the computer that tells us all of the stats. This is where the power comes out. And that's just a hole. and this is where we put the power in. And that, what it's just done there, tells us that it's complete. So it's powered up, it's got loads of cool fancy stuff in here, tells us all the stats about it. But if we, for instance, break this and we right click on it with an empty hand, it says it's not valid interior, so something's wrong. So you fill it up and ta-da. And for instance, if I was to remove the controller, not enough controllers, so it gives you some nice information. Alright, so oh wait a second, I'll put the wrong thing back here. Alright, there we go. So we've got this. This actually does absolutely nothing at the moment until we turn it on. So there's the activate, deactivate. This automatically ejects waste or not. That's the overall temperature. This is the power it's generating, the waste it's generating, and yeah, how heavy the core radiation is. So you've got whether the amount of fuel rods it's got, the maximum capacity, how much fuel it's got, how much waste it's got. So the heat on the outside, the heat of the core itself, and it can store. Why can't they show these in proper numbers for a change? 10 million redstone flux without having to output it anywhere. And then, with all that done, you just put yellowite in, and if we look in here, it's not. Well, I haven't turned it on. That would help. Boom. We are now generating 200 and when it settles, 260 redstone flux per tick. The core temperature's pretty hot. It's generating little. That's basically no waste whatsoever. So from barely just a bit of, essentially, a bit of coal, bit of iron, diamond, some yellowite, and a couple of bits of iron, we've created a small nuclear reactor. I'm not sure if it's nuclear, but a reactor, something that reacts things together. I don't know. Anyway, so we plug it up. Wiring. There we go. And actually, I prefer it if it went into the backs rather than straight into that. Is this filling up now? God, no, that's stable. Oh dear. Alright, so yeah, I've got more power, and that should probably last a day or something. I'm pretty sure it depletes uranium yellowite very slowly. We're on 60 at the moment, and it's 100% full. Yeah, full yellowite generated it starts at 4,000 fuel. So if you see it's got fuel, its max capacity, the fuel is how much it's got there, and it will go one down every tick. So 4,000 ticks later, and it will take in another 4 yellowite. And there we go, loads of power. I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I'm currently being inhibited by the type of energy conduits I'm using. So I need to fix that at some point. They're limiting power use. But there you go, that's all reactors. And you can make them as big as you want. The outer casing always has to be this. I mean the frame anyway. So the side pillars everything, but you can use any combination of the devices and any holes in between. And the more fuel rods, the better. You can use coolant inside them, but I'll come on to that at some other point. But there you have it. Yeah, small reactor. Hope you enjoyed it, or understood, or whatever. Feel free to ask any questions and stuff.